where Los Angeles police have identified found inside of an impounded Tesla last week.
Tonight, more than a week after a body was found inside an impounded Tesla registered to the singer who goes by the stage name David.
What police discovered inside D4vd's abandoned Tesla was the kind of evidence that changes everything we thought we knew about the rising music star. And the deeper investigators dug, the worse it got. This is about a teenager, a missing persons case that went cold, and a car trunk that held answers no one wanted to find. Let's start from the beginning. September 8th, 2025. That's when everything exploded.
The body, which law enforcement sources told NBC News was not intact, was found after the LAPD was called to Hollywood Tow Yard over a foul odor coming from a vehicle, which had been sitting in the impound lot for several days.
A tow yard employee in Los Angeles was doing routine checks when he noticed something that made his stomach turn. A foul smell, strong, unmistakable, coming from a white Tesla that had been sitting in the lot for 5 days. The car, which has a Texas license plate, was towed from the Hollywood Hills after it was abandoned 5 days earlier. The car had been towed from the Hollywood Hills after being abandoned on the street. Nobody thought much of it at first. Rich people abandon expensive cars all the time in LA. But this was different. When authorities opened the trunk, what they found inside left even seasoned investigators shaken. A body, badly decomposed. So badly, in fact, that immediate identification was impossible.
I believe the person found inside the front trunk of that Tesla yesterday was a woman, but they say it's still too soon to say for certain if she was the victim of a murder.
And here's the part that sent shockwaves through the internet. The car was registered to D4vd, the same D4D who had millions of streams, the same kid who went viral on TikTok. At first, nobody wanted to believe it, but the LAPD even confirmed that D4D was cooperating with the investigation. They said the Tesla was just one of several vehicles he owned and that multiple people had access to it. He wasn't named a suspect. His tour continued. Everything seemed fine. But the corporate world, they weren't taking chances. Within days, brand deals with Crocs and Hollister were quietly dropped. Because even without charges, even without an arrest, the optics were too dangerous. A dead body in your car? That's not something you can spin. And while the public was still processing the initial shock, investigators were already piecing together something much darker. September 17th, 2025, 9 days after the discovery. That's when the Los Angeles Police Department held a press conference that changed everything. Forensic analysis had identified the remains. The body in D4vd's trunk belonged to a 15-year-old girl named Celeste Rivas. Celeste. She had been missing since April 5th, 2024. She was only 13 years old when she disappeared from Lake Elsinore, California, about 70 miles from where the abandoned Tesla was found. Her family started a GoFundMe for funeral expenses. They described her as bright, vibrant, full of life. She loved Hello Kitty. She had dreams. She had a future, and now she was gone. But here's where it gets darker. Authorities confirmed that Celeste had a distinctive tattoo on her right index finger, a shh symbol. And for D, he had the exact same tattoo. Same finger, same design. Celeste's mother came forward in an interview with TMZ. She said her daughter had a boyfriend. His name was David.
The family lives on this street in Lake Elsinore, and today the brother told us that the family is all grieving. She said that they knew that she had a relationship with the singer David, but now they're trying to figure out how she ended up dead in his Tesla.
Let that sink in. The victim had a boyfriend named David. The car she was found in belonged to an artist named D, whose real name is David Burke. Still think this was just a coincidence? The day after Celeste was identified, LAPD homicide detectives showed up at a house in the Hollywood Hills, a rental property used by D's management team. But photos and videos confirmed he'd been living there for the past year.
This home is where David was living, although he does not own the home. LAPD investigators served a search warrant here last night, collecting evidence. Right now, however, this is only being called a death investigation and not a homicide.
And here's what made investigators pause. The house was less than 100 feet from where the Tesla had been abandoned. Detectives spent hours inside. When they left, they were carrying a computer and multiple evidence bags. Crime scene technicians photographed everything. Police also noted something strange about how the car was positioned. It had been driven through a back alley, possibly to avoid traffic cameras, like someone knew exactly where the cameras were, or where they weren't. And if you thought that was bad, the internet was about to uncover something even worse. When the online community gets involved in a case, things move fast. Too fast sometimes. But in this situation, they found things the police might have missed. Messages from 2021 showed D4vd communicating with a user named Celeste 3 years before her body was found, back when she would have been just 11 years old. More messages from 2023 showed members of the community discussing D4vd's new girlfriend, also named Celeste.
The lyrics talked about suicide, about a girl with a tattoo on her chest, about keeping secrets even when questioned. Another unreleased track, allegedly recorded in March 2025, just months before the body was found, included lines like, "I won't be telling anything, and you shouldn't either if they ask about her." That's not art, that's a confession set to music. The titles alone were haunting. One was called Hello Kitty, the same character Celeste's family said she loved. And if you think that's where the evidence ends, we're just getting started. The internet never forgets. And once people started digging, old footage came flooding back. A clip from June 27, 2024, allegedly showed Celeste Rivas backstage after one of D4vd's shows. She was there, with him, months after she'd been reported missing. Another video from January 11, 2024, showed D4vd on stream with a girl who looked like Celeste. At the end of the stream, he told his moderators to delete all videos and clips immediately.
Media trained you. That's controversial.
It's controversial of kids.
Really good.
Okay,
it's been a good one. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Mwah, 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 mwah. Oh my! Delete everything. Delete everything. Everything goes. Everything goes. Everything.
Why would you do that unless you had something to hide? Then there was footage of D4vd cleaning shoes that allegedly belonged to Celeste. Photos of him wearing bracelets that matched hers. Each piece of evidence, on its own, might seem innocent, but together, they paint a picture of someone who was involved. This is where things take a turn into horror movie territory. D4vd's bodyguard, who goes by Marky Next Door, appeared on a live stream hosted by a creator named Cuff'em, and Marky Next Door got drunk, really drunk. And while he was in that state, he allegedly said something that stopped the entire stream cold.
Did you hear about the David case? The singer.
David with the slat in the back trunk.
He was the bodyguard for him.
I helped him bury her. It's crazy.
No.
What the fuck? Yo, no.
He said Celeste was buried, then later moved to the trunk. The clip went viral within hours. Some people tried to brush it off as a tasteless joke, dark humor from someone who didn't know what they were saying. But here's the thing, why would anyone, especially someone close to D4vd, joke about something like that in the middle of an active investigation? No one in their right mind makes that kind of statement unless there's truth behind it. And if it's true, that means this wasn't a crime of passion.
Just days after Celeste's body was discovered, and only one day after D4vd's Los Angeles home was raided, something strange happened. Police in Texas received a call about an active shooting at D4vd's parents' house in Hampstead. Multiple casualties reported. Officers arrived with weapons drawn.
I heard some gunshots.
Okay. How close to your residence were they?
They were right outside my house. And I think someone's dead.
They found his confused parents at the door, just a terrified family wondering why armed police were surrounding their home. It was a swatting prank, a fake emergency call designed to trigger a heavy police response. When the emergency call recording was released, the voice was clearly altered using a voice changer. Most people assumed that the speech patterns and tone sounded eerily similar to D4vd himself. That sparked a theory. What if he orchestrated the swatting to frame himself as a victim? What if he was trying to generate sympathy and muddy the waters around the investigation? It sounds far-fetched, but then again, so does burying a body and moving it to a car trunk later. Here's where it gets really strange. The LAPD released an official statement saying it remains unclear whether there is any criminal culpability beyond the concealment of her body.
How do we know that he had anything to do with that? There's no evidence against this man for any crime that I can see.
How about witnesses? How about witnesses? Because the friends of David spoke with TMZ and they all held out that they thought that they were a couple. They held themselves out as a couple. She said that she was 19 and a college kid and they were absolutely romantic.
Proving my point, if he thought that she was overage.
A 15-year-old girl was found dead in a celebrity's car trunk, and the police are saying they're not sure if criminal activity was involved. Her body was decomposed. She'd been missing for over a year, and they're treating this as a death investigation. not a homicide investigation. How is that not automatically a crime? By mid-October 2025, public opinion had shifted completely. The same fans who defended D4D were now calling for his arrest. Representatives for D4D have not commented. And maybe that's the smartest move, because at this point, anything he says will be used against him. The investigation is ongoing, the public is watching, and the family of Celeste Rivas is waiting for answers. So here's what we know for sure. A 15-year-old girl is dead. Her body was found in D4D's car. She had a boyfriend named David. She had the same tattoo as D4D. She was seen with him months after she went missing, and no one has been arrested yet.